You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith. Johnson.
The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Revolution After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Revolution After Show.
Good morning to you. Good day to you. Welcome to the Revolution After Show. Being it's for doing. I am your host, Megan Thomas, and with me are the two wonderful, most handsome men this side of the Mississippi. Introduce yourselves, gentlemen.
What's up, you Revolution fans? I'm Brandon London, the cultured athlete, as I like to call myself. How you guys doing this evening?
And I'm Larice Shamar.
That's it.
That's it.
All right.
Let's get into it. Let's do it.
Let's get into it. Episode 15 was called Home.
Home.
But it should have been called Love. Because
Love Triangle.
Love Triangle, I would say past loves, past flames, whatever, because this entire episode was about people in their past loves, right?
It's bound to happen, though. I mean, you look at it like it's a world with no power that everybody feel like they love somebody, if not the same person.
Right, and as we're finding, a few of these people have loved the same people.
I mean, it's not coincidental. I don't think I said that like in previous episodes also that, you know, that I think Miles is like, he's that guy. Everybody loves him.
I don't know if everybody loves him, but we found out that a few people do. So this episode starts off with the rebels and the Georgia Federation joining forces. So we see that from last episode, Miles has taken them up on their offer, and he's now leading his portion of the rebels. And they win. But we see a little turn of events because Miles is not the typical Miles anymore. Yeah. You see that Jim Hudson,
yeah,
his best friend from back in the day, or one of his guys that he fought with, Jim Hudson is like, hey, we lost, maybe like 22 people. They lost way more than us. Yeah. We did very well. You know, everybody on the militia side is dead. We decimated them.
They feel like it's a victory now.
And he feels like it's a victory. He's like, yeah, we won. But at the same time, Miles is sad. Miles is not celebrating.
I think Miles is at that point right now that he just really feels that he's tired of killing people. Yeah. Because he's been doing it for so long, because he was a military expert in the beginning, then the power went out, then he became this leader of the militia who taught them how to kill and take over and take advantage of people, and now he's kind of feel like, I want to be neutral, but then Charlie comes to drag me back in. So he's kind of, I think previous episode he's been really torn between the two, but now I think he's just really tired of seeing people dying because of him.
Because you can even see that in the flashback when, you know, he's killing, that's old Miles. He's going to work, he's, slicing people up, but then they come back to, present time, and he's just sitting there drinking. He just looks so miserable, you know.
I think he is.
He is miserable, because like you said, I feel like the killing and, the sorrow and losing friends and betrayal, all that's catching up to him, and it looks like he doesn't want to fight anymore.
Yeah, and I think that's part of the reason, if you remember at the beginning of this show, this entire show, when he was living in Chicago, I think he wanted to be separate from everybody, because it helped him to put a wall up, and it helped him to be hard. So now here comes Charlie back into his life, his little niece, and she's opening up a softer side of him. And now I think it's the culmination of that. And you see that in him, because he's not... In this episode, there's such a stark contrast between him and Charlie. Yeah. He's sad that 22 people had to die for them to beat the Monroe Federation. Yeah. But then here, she is like walking through, canvassing all of the dead soldiers, looking for weapons, not even flinching, not thinking twice, not blinking. And so when he has a conversation with her and he says to her, let's let's talk about this. You know, we've been fighting nonstop, and this can mess with your head. And she's just like, look, I don't have anything to say. What I want to talk about is you and my mother.
What you and my mother. What you and my mother.
Right.
That's gonna be a hot topic.
And that's what before the guy died, Miles's understudy
Oh,
from the last Alec, that's his name. He told her that. Remember, he was like, "Oh, you think Miles is this high almighty guy and he's this great guy, but why don't you ask him what the deal is between him and your mother?"
I think what it is Miles is at that point now. When the lights went out, he thought he was doing a great thing by teaching people how to survive in the militia, and now he's kind of with the Republic and he's doing the same thing. But I think he's just at that point that every time he tried to do something great, it seemed like something bad happened. People always dying, and that's the thing that keep being reminded to everyone that, like, hey, Miles is a great guy, but somebody always have to die because of his decision that he's been making.
And I think that's why it's weighing on him, because again, now he's like, people had to die for us to beat the militia, and before he never cared. And here Jim is telling him, like, look, we should be happy we won. Be happy we won, and he doesn't feel it.
But I think it's also because the fact that, you know, before when the power went out, he thought he lost his family, and it was just him, and that's all he had. But now that he has Charlie and he has Rachel, and he saw his nephew die, I think he's kind of become to that softer side that, you know, I have a connection with my family now, and now why are we still killing?
His skill set is a gift and a curse. Basically, you know, it's a gift and a curse. Your skill set is you're a great killer. You can train people to be killers, but then at the end of the day, when you know there's no one to kill and you're just sitting at the house, I guess he has like he's thinking, what am I good for? Like, what's life about right now?
Okay, so what do you guys think? Him being softer, do you think this is going to work against him in future episodes, or is it going to help him?
That'll get everyone killed if he gets softer, if he lets up, because, like we said, his skill set, he's a great killer. He's a great soldier. Not even soldier, he's a great general. You can even call him a general. He's a leader. So for the rebels or Georgia Federation, they might have numbers, they might have soldiers and guns for him, but they need a person to train them and to teach them, you know, how to fight the militia. And that's what Miles is. So they can't afford for him to get soft ever.
Yeah, I think what's going to happen, it's really going to cause something drastic to happen among the Federation, within the republics and everything, and he's going to realize that he really have to be this strong person, because if not, the Monroe family will actually, like, take advantage of them, and they're going to actually lose more lives than anticipated. So I think the great thing about him, if he stays strong, they will continue to survive, but the weaker he get, the more that everyone else is going to die, and Monroe's going to kind of take on power.
Okay, I see what you guys are saying, but I don't think him turning soft is actually a bad thing, because in essence, even though he is being a little softer and he is, you know, thinking about people dying, I think this makes him stronger, because now he's raised up a little killer in Charlie, okay? So she, to me, is now the brawn. She, when it comes to the main characters, she's got the bronze now, and he has the brains, because now he's thinking about, okay, how does this affect people's lives, positively, negatively? Maybe I have to start thinking about that versus just going kill, kill, kill. Because if you understand, his mission is to still take out the Monroe Federation.
Exactly.
He's not changed his goal.
Yeah.
But I think now he's going to go about it a little different, and I don't think it's going to be negative. I actually think it's going to be a positive thing for him that he's become softer.
I can see that. I can see why you believe that, but for Charlie to be the hardcore killer now, you know, that's cool, because what she had to toughen up. She's going to be, they need her for the fights, they need her for her logic, but when it comes to Miles, what do we need him for logic for? He is what he is. He is a trainer.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying. He's still strategizing. Yeah. But I think him being softer is adding to his strategy versus it just being kill, kill, kill.
I think it's more so that him becoming softer, that he actually cares about the lives of the people he's fighting with.
And I think when somebody's more humane, I think that makes him a better person. Not only a better person, but for TV, a better character.
Fear is the #1 motivator.
Yeah.
That's why fear is the number.
Okay, if it's the #1 motivator, then why is the Monroe Federation so horrific, and then the Georgia Federation is so awesome? Because they're not under a regime of angry, we'll take you down if you don't do what we say.
But the Georgia Federation needs Miles to beat the Monroe Republic.
Okay.
So they need, you know, you could be civilized and have your judges wear white wigs and all that stuff. All you want, Georgia Federation. But when it comes to just, you know, straight up, I will fly a helicopter and I will shoot up your city, or I will, you know, burn a building to, you know, to kill people. That's that motivator right there that the Georgia Federation doesn't have over the Monroe Republic.
I think just basically overall what it is that the Georgia Federation, they have a leader, somebody guiding them and teaching them the right respective thing to do, as we have no power but still live in a society where we actually appreciate and respect each other. The Monroe Republic is pretty much it's a dictatorship where Monroe is the only guy that's in charge. You have everybody else working for him. It's like a pyramid effect. I'm at the top, everybody else do my dirty work for me, and we're gonna take over the world by masses. And it's totally different type of lifestyle that they live.
Okay, and that was run by fear, which was instilled when Miles was there a long time ago.
And now Georgia has the steamboats, so they have, you know, the scientific stuff. I just feel like in this world, this revolution world, 15 years later, soldiers and scientists, that's what's gonna get the power back on. Soldiers and scientists.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Is that cool? I just thought of that.
No, I think that's also what took the power away. The same thing. Because think about it, the Department of Defense, they were fighting a war in Afghanistan.
That was
that's
just
the soldier
scientists.
parts. No, and then the scientists were the one that created the actual technology to do this. So it's still exactly the same. I think the battlefield is just a little different now.
Yeah, I mean, I like to think about Charlie now, because like when you look at what Charlie has been through from the beginning, she saw her brother. Her father died. No, first she saw her mother leave them. Well, first, no power. Her mother leaves. Her father's died. Then her brother get kidnapped, and then like she goes through this whole thing to go to Chicago to find her uncle, but yet to find that, you know, the world's still the same. People without power, people still fighting against each other just to survive and everything. And now she's become a point where that now she saw her brother die. So Charlie's becoming like numb to everything around her, to where she's just like, you know what? I'm just trying to basically be world power myself, because I've lost everything in my life, because her mother's no longer there, and she's fighting herself against Miles, because all she wants to know is like, what happened to you and my mother? Me personally, I'd be like, what do you think happened?
The numbest characters have the least amount of family.
Yeah.
You said the dumbest character?
The numbest.
Oh, the
most numb, or the numbest.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think, isn't that true to life? Usually the people who are the most numb are the ones who have experienced a lot of loss.
A lot of loss.
A lot of hurt, a lot of pain. And I think that's what Charlie is now, where she just look at like, oh, I'm scavenging through the soldiers to find out what can I use next.
And it's so different, because I remember one of the episodes where she was just like, I can't believe you guys are killing. Like, she didn't want to kill anybody. The first time she killed that soldier, the first time, it was so dramatic. Because she'd never killed anybody, and I didn't think she was going to do it. And I feel like that was a point of no return. Now we got a killing machine.
That's a good thing, though, because you know what? She's going to survive. I don't see Charlie not being in to the finale. She's gonna be there till the power come back on. Even when the power come back on, she will still play an important role, because she's been taught by Miles, and she's been fighting so aggressively that she's able to teach others to fight against, you know, the Monroe Republic, or you know, any of those guys out west too, even in Texas. So it's like it's at a point now. Charlie's just a person that, in her mindset, she just want to win.
Yeah,
I'd give her own state. Like when if the rebels finally win, give her Rhode Island or Massachusetts or something. It's just like, here, that's Charlie's state right there. Because like you said, she's a hardened killer now, and she has logic. So you know, she's a leader. She can do that. I can see that.
Yeah, she's definitely a leader now.
So then we see, we flip over to the Monroe Republic. Bass is there. He's talking to his. Oh, now you know him by Bass now, huh? It's Bass.
Now you know
He's always been known as Bass. Shout out to David Lyons. Ooh, Sebastian Monroe, you're awesome. And I just want to shout something out too. You guys know that he's Australian, right? Did you guys know that? Well, you never hear his accent
ever.
And I think that's awesome. I never noticed it. And then I remember when I was watching an interview of him, and I was like, hold on, wait a minute, he's Australian. But he does, you never hear it. And then sometimes if you watch, some of the words he'll say do have a little accent on them. You gotta hear, listen closely.
See, she's reading your lips, David Lyons.
Damn,
like, she's doing all that.
Hey, David Lyons.
Give him your Twitter.
At Meg Scoop, like scoop of ice cream. No, okay, so we see that Bass is now with Jeremy, I think his name is, his new right-hand guy that, you know, that he met actually saving with Miles back in the day, a few episodes ago. Yeah. So he's telling him like, hey, our guys died. They've taken these different cities in Indiana, and his right-hand man is like, well, it's just a setback, no big deal. But Bass knows Miles, and Bass is like, oh no, this is not it. This is Miles we're talking about. Yeah. So I've got to kill Miles. That's it. He finally comes to the point where he's like, we're going to kill him. That's
now.
I mean, because you look at before when he was trying to, he continued to try to bring Miles back in, like, hey, you're my brother, please come back, like, help me out. I know that we had our differences before, you know, but every single time, every encounter, that anything with Miles is like, Miles is upset to Bass. So now he just feel like, hey, gotta go.
And yeah, to elaborate on that, it's like you said, he kept trying to bring him back. And people, we tend to want to go back to how things were. You know, we want to forget things and, you know, the bad that happened and just go back to the happy times when, I guess he wants to go back when it was Bass and, you know, Bass and Miles, you know, coming up, taking over the Monroe Republic or taking over that part of the United States or whatever. So I just see like he's just been longing and hoping, you know, for him to come back. But now he's at that point where it's like, you know what? This guy is the point of no return. We can never be friends again. We can never, you know, we can never hang out. And Miles has even said it. You're nothing to me.
I mean, because he can't. Because at this point, not only has he left the Monroe Republic, he's now joined forces with the Georgia Federation. He's leading them and the rebels. So he's got two factions that he's dealing with that are completely opposed to his former state.
But you know what? Miles is being like forced into situations that he really don't want to be a part of.
What do you mean? He's not being forced into anything right now.
He's been forced. Yes.
It's
like what?
He was basically living life great in Chicago, but he was forced to basically go fight.
Okay, just because you choose to turn your other cheek and not look at what's going on doesn't mean that your life is better. His life wasn't better because he chose to ignore what was going on. He wasn't. I'm pretty sure it was killing him inside because he knew what was going on, and the Monroe Republic was only getting stronger. So it was definitely killing him inside. So I don't think he was living better. I think he was just running away from his problems, which was being part of this horrific terroristic regime.
I mean,
I don't know. Anyway, Larice, so what happens is they decide that they're going to send a scout to go talk to Miles. And at this point, we find out what the huge plan is. They're gonna go back to their hometown of Jasper, Indiana.
Yeah, never heard of it.
Yeah, it's probably not much going on there. Sorry, people in Jasper. I'm from Kentucky, but that's all right.
But tweet us and tell us what is going on there.
I know, right?
I like learning about the different cities that they have in this in the show.
Which is very cool.
It's pretty interesting.
Yes.
What's your major export?
And also, if you go on the website NBC.com, you'll also see an interactive map which shows all the places that they've been. It gives you a little rundown of what happened in what episode at that specific place, and it's good to see because it kind of puts the travel in context of what they're doing and where they're going and where the different federations and republics are. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So they send the scout. The scout gives Miles a message. He must go alone to his hometown of Jasper because if he doesn't, Bass is going to kill everybody, including Emma. Beautiful old Emma. And we find out that Emma is pretty much their love triangle girl from back from where they grew up. She was with Miles first.
Kind of a touchy situation.
We don't know who she was with first.
No, I think she was with Miles first. I mean, they don't really allude to that.
Why do you say that?
Well, because she was engaged to him, as we find out.
So?
And it doesn't. And I don't think Miles would be the type to take his friend's girl back then.
You don't know that.
No, I mean, I'm just saying it would just. I just didn't get that.
That's the time to do it.
No, I haven't actually. I haven't.
Okay, I'm just asking.
I don't roll like you.
But just on the flashback, you know, the flashback, they showed them kissing, and then you just see Bass, as you like to call him, you know, General Monroe. You see him there with just hate on his face.
But it's because he wants to be with her.
Evil.
But
it's not evil. I think it's like he wants to be with her.
But things like that happen all the time, though.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like someone always despises of someone else. Like, oh, I just wish I had her, but she's with him.
But that's your best friend. That's your brother.
And
What's
then-
that, bro?
Bros
We can't say it. We can't say it all. Bros before war. Bros before war. How's that?
All
Bros
right.
before war.
So we see that there's a little love triangle that's been
Yeah.
going on. And so Bass and company get to Jasper with their helicopters, and everybody's looking up like, what are these things, you know?
I mean, it's,
And-
like,
and
it's
he-
like a world with no power, and you see like, man,
Yeah.
I used to know what that was.
Bird.
I
And
know,
so
right?
Emma comes across him, and she talks to him after they beat up poor Dwayne for saying he doesn't want to go to the courthouse. He has no reason to, and they beat poor Dwayne up. And she asks him, like, what are you guys doing here? What's going on here? And he lies to her and says that there are some terrorists, and they're trying to protect these people. And she knows off top. She's like, look, we're old friends. You're lying.
Yeah.
You're lying.
And at that point, I was like, okay, you guys are old friends, but you're Miles's girl. What do you mean you know him and stuff
Right.
like that? That's where it caught me, because I was like, what is she talking about? And they lured me in. They really lured me in with that storyline. So keep going. I'm sorry
Yes,
to interrupt.
yes.
you.
No. Because that, and I think that was a point for me too, that I was like, okay, there must be something else that was going on here, because
Yeah.
it doesn't see your old friends, but no.
How close of a friends are you?
Exactly, because he breaks down and you see him flip, and he's just like, don't call me that. Don't call me Bass. Because I think he can feel his walls coming down with her.
Breaking down.
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, oh, they must have had something going on, because for him to be like, oh, I'm getting ready to be put in a vulnerable place with this woman. Let me check her really quick. Don't call me Bass. I'm General Monroe. You don't
But
know
my
me
thing is
that.
like, why would you be in a vulnerable place? Like, I'm coming to you like to tell you like, hey, I'm here to help you out. Even though she understands who I am as a person, but it's like it's
Because
business.
she knew he was lying.
She knew he
It's
was lying.
business.
She knew he was lying. And that is a very, very dangerous place to be in, when somebody knows your weaknesses, when they know you're lying, when they know your
I don't
hand.
lie.
Well, let me move away before the lightning strikes over there.
I don't lie.
I prayed this morning.
So he knows that he's going to be put in a compromising spot, because for her to just be able to read him so well, he can't lie to her.
Yeah.
That's why he tries to put that wall back up and tells her, no.
Because
you gotta
he's
go.
ready to break down in front of your soldiers. Like
He can't.
You can't do that, because
can't.
then you lose you lose your credibility.
Yeah.
And then you have to start killing off your soldiers just to show that just to gain your respect back again.
Yeah.
And that's not even full respect. It's fear. It's a thing of fear. So he had to stop her from calling her Bass, and he had to they had to let him give the order to beat up Dwayne, just to let her know, I didn't come here to reconcile with you or to talk or anything like that. I came here to get Miles here so I can kill Miles.
Yeah.
But at the
And
same time, you think she's not gonna set him up. She would never
She was, what do
set Miles up.
you mean? Who said she was going to set him up?
I'm just saying, like, I don't think she will.
No. She wasn't. I don't think that's the reason that he said that, because I think because none of them have had contact with their hometown, from what I'm gathering.
no.
So I think he took that more as there's a vulnerable place with this woman here that has not been touched in years, and God knows how many years.
Yeah.
And so he's now saying, okay, I got to get this woman away. She's a threat, not because she's going to turn me into Miles or she's going to set us up. She's a threat because she knows me.
Yeah.
And I think this homecoming to Jasper was deep for Bass, because you see him strolling through, looking around. You see him go to his family's grave.
Yeah.
Their graves. And he sees that they have fresh flowers on them. So who else could have put them there but Emma?
Emma.
And so now I think this is getting even tougher, because there's this woman that you loved. That's sweet. You're putting fresh flowers on someone's graves who, you don't even know them. You haven't seen their son in years.
Yeah.
That's a really sweet thing. And when I saw that, I thought, oh, he's for sure gonna like give up his whole plan to kill these people, kill Emma. He can't kill her now. She's put flowers on her family's grave, on his family's graves.
I mean, and I think that's probably why he probably got the like when she actually called him Bass and everything. He probably felt a certain way because of the flowers. But at the same time, he's a general. He's a leader. He has one focus, and his focus is basically to continue to take over the masses with his army and basically take over the Georgia Republic and set Miles up. So that's his thing. It's like he might show some weakness towards her, but at the same time, no matter how much love you have for somebody, but when you're a leader coming in there, like I have one main focus and one goal, and that's just to take over the masses and basically just kill everybody possible who don't want to be part of the Monroe Republic. So.
Yeah.
That was, I pretty much agree with you. Like he can't digress. He cannot stop everything he's already done and say, okay, I'm going to take this woman, marry her, and then go run off in the sunset somewhere. That can't happen. He's at the point of no return with his evil, with everything he's done. So it's great that she's changing the flowers and she's walking around seeing who he was. But at the same time, he had to harden himself and go back to that man of steel in order to execute his plan.
And I think this makes him even more evil. I think this is probably the most evil we have seen Bass in any episode. How can you go home to a place you've never been, to people who are your, like Emma said, your teachers. your friends, these are people you grew up with, and now you're going to kill them in cold blood?
What did he put them in the court? He put them in the courthouse and put them in the basement. He's gonna burn tons of people.
That's a very horrific way to die. Is to be burnt alive. He's now pure evil. The paranoia has gotten to him. To me, in this episode, it really shows that there's no return for Bass.
But why was he pure evil? Because the love was in there. He had to drown that out.
He had
to do something like real, like.
But I agree with what you're saying. But also I just feel like he's at a point right now where he don't want to basically leave any other threats out there outside of Miles, because he don't want them or her to basically like send people to warn Miles that, hey, Monroe's coming.
But I don't think they were. I think
they probably would have.
I don't think they would have. I think the only reason that he wanted to get rid of the people in his hometown was really to spite Miles. That's it. Because this is something that they have in common. This is who they are. This city represents who they are. So if he wipes out everything in this city, everything they've known, everything that has helped them to become who they are, then it's kind of sending a message to Miles like, you did this. You killed your people. I didn't do this. You should have come when I told you to come.
It's just like forced retaliation. Like, I'm forcing him to basically come see me and to fight me so I can have the opportunity to kill him and the Republics.
Yes.
And the rebels.
I agree.
And the fact that he doesn't care, it astounds me. And the
He's
moment
smarter than that.
Yes, well, I don't know about all that. I think it's just the anger is burning in him. And when Emma comes to him and, he asks her, did you put the flowers there? And she said, yes. And I just knew at this moment, yes, love will conquer all. They're going to get back together. This is going to be a happy story. Because, when at first I was a little against them because of the cheating in the flashback. Emma literally has relations with this man on the kitchen counter while Miles is in the other room asleep. I thought that was.
But you don't know who she was with, though. At that point in time, you don't know who she was with.
No, she was with Miles because the earlier flashback you see them all canoodling and kissing, and then then they show the same flashback, and she's putting Miles to sleep. She's like brushing his hair to the side, and then she goes into the kitchen with Bass, and he like creeps his little hand into hers.
Hey.
And so I was like, oh, they're over here creeping in the kitchen.
It's a vulnerable moment.
I cannot believe that. I just was like, oh, I don't like them together. But then when they
I don't like Emma.
Why?
Because she's a hussy.
And that's part
she started
that's like
this.
A grandma term, hussy.
She's a hussy.
What if she is the reason why they have their differences?
She started this.
No, because they were even tighter. They became even tighter when post blackout. This was pre blackout because they had lights on in the house. But I'm saying, but I liked it now because she has a really pure heart, and that's what Bass says to her. He was like, "You're so kind." She's such a kind person, though. He's like, "You're really kind. You're a pure person, and you're able to see the good in people, including me." And she was able to do that because she was trying to tell him, like, "I see it. Like, come on back. Come on, good Bass. Come on back."
That's just like past memory that you kind of remember somebody that you always have like. The positive always outweighs the bad, especially when you have more positive, like the relationship that we have, the passionate moments that we have. I know there is some good in your heart. So anybody, if I didn't see you for like 15 years, and I was like, oh, well, Megan, like she was a great person when I seen her. But even though in those 15 years, you probably like went off the rocker somewhere, but at the same time, you came back. I know you for who you are, and that's what she know Bass for.
And I thought at that moment, that's when it was going to be, he has a breakthrough because he says, I love you, and he says all this stuff that is so wonderful, and he starts crying, and I'm like, yes, she has broken through to the good Bass that used to be there before all of this tragedy hit him, and now he says to her, he's gone. That guy you're talking about, that good guy, is gone. Put him down in the basement and burn him.
He was closing the chapter.
And I just was sitting there like, I can't believe that. I was like, no, this was a moment he was going to be redeemed and he was going to become a good guy.
It's not gonna happen.
Not going to happen.
Not in this revolution.
Definitely wasn't going to happen.
Not in this revolution.
The Revolution spinoff.
That's the hopeless romantic in me, huh? Where they were just going to ride off into the sunset together.
You should be asking everybody, do y'all think Bass will ever change? No.
What? I think he will. He's got it in him.
He can't.
He can.
Just like Miles can never change. No, Miles went to Chicago, tried to change. What happened? That life came back looking for him.
Okay,
you
but
know,
and
once
then it
you're
has
involved
changed
with
him,
that.
though. It's changed because the guy that Miles is now is not the same as the guy that Miles used to be. So there is hope.
It's because of family.
I don't. Yeah.
I think it's because of his family.
So then that's what. So then there brings another question: is Bass going to change? Because now we find out. You know, we'll get to it later, but we find out that he has a son somewhere in the world. He's got a son.
So at first I thought she was lying. Like I thought she was doing that just to. I mean, she's held at gunpoint.
Yeah.
She could probably say anything, and I thought she was lying. But then when Charlie and the other soldier was saying someone needs to shoot her, someone needs to kill her, and Miles said if anybody pulls that trigger, then I'll kill you. That's how I knew Emma wasn't lying, because Miles knows something. I think Miles knows something about the son.
I don't think he does, because remember what she says to Bass. She tells Bass, nobody knew. My parents wouldn't let me tell you. You had already gone, and I wasn't allowed to tell anybody. And so her son is somewhere, and she's like, I want to see my son. I don't think they could even hear what the conversation was. But all I think that Miles was worried about is these are my friends.
That's true.
At the end of the day, this is a girl that I used to be engaged to. Nobody needs to try to shoot her because she is literally an innocent victim here. She's innocent. So if one of you guys are even off just a hair, you're going to kill her for no reason.
Because he didn't want to take the shot, and he's the best aim out of all of them.
Exactly. So that's why he said nobody shoot. And so as they're having this conversation, I don't think he can hear what they're saying. I think he's just like, let's just pull back. And then, of course, what is his name? Captain Dixon takes aim and shoots. And he kills poor Emma. He kills poor Emma.
Horrible shot. Like, he wasn't even close to anyone's face.
Well, hold on, he did, because if you remember, he
nicked him.
Okay, he nicked him. Okay, so fine. He was a little bit off. They were kind of far.
You got an automatic rifle and you nicked him.
You got a scope.
Captain in the Georgia Federation.
Okay, but so for him, he doesn't know these people. They're just more casualties to him. He doesn't know Emma.
Exactly, which is why shoot her here? Go for her face, his face. Or his face, not her first.
He was trying to scare her.
Whatever. I couldn't believe that. But I think, you know, even with Miles, you know, I'm glad Miles got there first, by the way. I'm really glad that he made it there. Because at first I was like, how's he going to get here by himself and get through all of this firepower by himself? But of course, Miles is like MacGyver.
He took the back of the trucks, the big trucks, the tackle boxes where you country people put the fishing and stuff.
You country people? Hold on, wait a minute.
Jasper, Indiana. You telling me you guys don't go fishing and stuff?
Okay, you know what?
The tackle boxes. I live in Charlottesville, Virginia, Jasper, Indiana. It's a lot, probably just as country as where you guys live. But you see what he did? He had the shield and he was running, bing, 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 and then they got him in the ankle.
Yeah, they got him in the leg, and he still kept going. He still was able to run. I just thought he was a goner.
A shot is not gonna stop you from running.
It is gonna stop me from running. I'm gonna be like, okay, I give up. Go ahead.
Cut. I'm going back to my trailer. This looks like real blood.
Time out.
That was pretty gangster there. So yeah, so he helps to get everybody out, which I thought was great. And then of course Emma gets caught up with Bass, and then they have the whole exchange. Bass finds out he has a son, and I think this is going to change him for the better, because when, as we said before, when Miles finds out he has a niece, his family's still alive, that is the beginning of his journey to become a new man. And I think now that Miles has a son, he now has something to live for, because before he had nobody. His family was gone, his best friend is gone, everybody's gone. But now he's like, there's somebody out there that depends on me and that I didn't even know about.
This is going to make him weak.
No, it's not.
It's going to make him weak.
No, it's not.
You saw what
his son
happened.
gonna be part of the rebels, right?
Probably.
I mean,
that's the question. So yes, if you're on iTunes, let us know what you think. Go ahead and subscribe to our podcast. Rate us, comment us, and we even like the comments that are not so favorable, because they make us better.
Makes us
so
better.
We thank you for them. We thank you for the positive comments. We thank you for everything. Make sure you download the podcast so you can hear it whenever you need to. And, you know, let us know what you think. Tell a friend. It's really quick.
And make sure you rate us 5 stars.
5 stars? 5 stars. So the question is, hold on. Do you think that what you call it, Vass will become better as a result of having a son,
softer.
or worse?
He's not focused now. Now, just think, he doesn't know where Emma's. He doesn't know what part of the world, what part of America Emma has been. She where this kid is. What's going on with this kid. So now, instead of focusing on getting all the power back, getting all my soldiers lined up, killing Miles, it's always going to be in the back of his head.
Where's my son?
What if? Where's my son? Where's my son?
But that's gonna be like a tough adventure though, like for someone who really don't know who his child is, and she could not tell anybody. Where do you start? Like looking for like a child.
You gotta start. Well, for him, he'd have to start at his hometown and see if she.
But he's gonna kill everybody.
He's going to expose him.
He's
gonna kill him.
Yeah, I think this is gonna help. This is gonna make him a little weaker. It's going to make him a little weaker because now his focus is not on world domination.
Yes.
It's on where's my little boy.
Yeah.
And who knows how old the kid is now. Well, I mean, I guess he would know.
Plus 15 years automatically because of the lights, and then however it was.
Because they were, I think they were like teenagers probably back then.
It was back then.
So this kid's like, he's older than Charlie, 25.
15 years ago?
Probably about 20. No, but
15 was the blackout.
That was a blackout. But the flashback was I'm assuming, was when they were in high school.
So he had to be like in his 20s.
So his kid's like mid-20s, maybe late 20s. Who knows?
So watch. And now this exposes him because you saw before his new right-hand man was telling him you'd be a lot safer at home. Why are we in Jasper? Why are we here? So now he's gonna go city to city looking for his son, and all his firepower isn't around his mansion anymore.
I don't believe it.
He's got to go to different places to go look for this. He almost got killed. They had to pull him away. They had to put him away onto the helicopter. He's going to expose himself looking for this kid.
I think that he's gonna lose his power, like his leadership within the Monroe Republic, and someone else gonna take a seat because he's not gonna be the leader that they need. But I don't think that he's gonna expose the Monroe Republic to danger.
I think he is. I don't know. I just hope he finds his son. I think this is a very good writers.
Very good writing.
This is very interesting. It's a very good twist because now all of a sudden Monroe has something to live for, and I also going back to Miles. He shoots Captain Dixon because Captain Dixon took the shot and killed Emma, and I think Miles is still a killer, you guys. Miles, even though he's softening up, he's still a killer because. Honest to God, I don't know. I'll be honest with you. Do you guys think that he would have killed Charlie if she took that shot?
No.
No.
You don't think he would have killed her?
He would have shot her in the leg, but I don't think he would have killed her.
Why would he shoot her in the leg? What good does that do? What good is shooting someone in the leg?
He would separate himself from Charlie.
You don't think he would have killed her?
Nah.
I think Charlie's shot would have been better than Dixon.
Was it better with Alec? No, because she missed. Remember, she was off. She wasn't right in his heart. So I don't know. I think I don't know. He might have killed her. He might have killed her.
No, I don't think he would have killed her.
What do you guys think at home? I wonder what the fans think. But just because.
Call us 424-256-1729. Let us know. What do you think? Do you think that Miles would have actually killed his niece if she took the shot at Emma?
I don't think so.
He had a look in his eye though.
No.
He did. I don't know. He had no hesitation. No hesitation.
I don't think he would have killed her.
But they didn't really show. Okay, they showed him with the flashbacks. They showed him kissing Emma, but that's it. They didn't really show any deep dialogue or a conversation with them to show why he loved her so much.
What are you talking about, Miles?
I'm talking about Miles and Emma. They didn't really show too much with their flashback.
I don't think they needed to. I think they were just trying to show that to establish they're together, and then he says later on, once Emma's dead, that he was engaged to her previously.
Yeah.
So we know there was something there that was going on.
Something great between them, but I mean, it's like, hey, he had to move on.
And I think that kind of snaps him out of his softness a little bit. Once I feel like the old Miles has come back, because you see how he just throws a blanket right back over Emma's face, like, oh, we're definitely going to it. We're killing him now. This is it.
But at the same time, it's not Bass's fault though.
It is Bass's fault because he brought the war here to his hometown. It would have never touched them had he not brought Miles there.
Yeah, but Bass didn't kill him either.
And he killed the person who killed Emma, right?
Exactly.
So that part is gone, of course. But here he goes. He's now. I think he snapped out of his softness a little bit, or maybe this is still part of him becoming. He's still going to be softer when it comes to those he cares about, because this is really important to him. But now it's going to make him even more focused because another innocent person whom he loves has died.
That's exactly what I was about to say. Like, you could be in this fantasy world on, I want to become, this great person, and I want to be this bartender, and I'm tired of the killing. But like you said, another innocent person who he loves has died as a result of them trying to kill him. So this is gonna hurt him.
But you
this
look at like every episode, like Miles lose someone close to him every episode. Someone that he like either trained, one of his protege, or like a family member or a lover. So it's like
he and that's why I think he's in the predicament that he's in. So let's switch over to Aaron and Rachel. That's a quick story. This was great. Yeah. Aaron and Rachel make it to the Plains Nation. We come to a new place in the world, the Plains Nation, in LaGrange, Missouri. And we see that they're walking through the crowd at the marketplace, and he sees his ex-wife, Priscilla. Priscilla's alive.
Yeah.
I didn't think she was a figment of his imagination, as Rachel said. I was like, no, he really saw her. I knew he saw her.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was a figment of his imagination.
Did you?
I mean, because I didn't think that because he haven't thought about her like since like the first couple episodes. So he's been really kind of thinking about survival, life, and just being a better person.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So we see her, and then he comes. He fights with Rachel a little bit. Yeah, she still looks the same. She still looks good 15 years later. She still looks good. And she's at the bar, and she's got a man with her, and he's excited to see her, and he's just like, hey. And she just looks at him, and she can't be excited. And she explains that, oh, I'm with my husband, and this is an old friend, Aaron. And she just turns away. She's cold. And he just walks away. And I thought at that moment, I was like, go, Aaron, go after her. And he just kind of, he wants to, but Rachel's like, she's trying to tell you to leave. Leave her alone.
But at the same time, you look at what type of circumstances that he left her at. He left her and just felt like, yo, you know what? You'd be better off without me, because if you stay with me, you probably end up dying. And would she end up surviving the whole entire thing? I would never left my wife just be like, if we die, we're gonna die together.
Which is why he had so much guilt for all of these years. So
he should.
But guilt doesn't, guilt is not enough to get you to leave. Okay, I know it wasn't the husband as a bounty hunter or whatever, but guilt shouldn't be enough for me to get up my new husband, the man who's provided for me when you left me, for me to go out and talk to you.
But he may never have another chance with her, so I think that's why he is so.
But what is he going? What is he going to tell her?
Okay, so we find out that when he tries to walk, when Rachel tells him to walk away, she doesn't want to talk to you. We see the gun from this guy, so we know something's not right. And he tells Rachel, something's not right. I know her. Something's not right. So then he goes, later he goes searching for her, and he sees that she's being thrown in the back of this truck. This is not her husband, and he knows that. So she tells him again, go, just forget about me, go away. And he's walking away. And at that moment, I was literally screaming at the TV like, no, Aaron, don't do it again. Don't do it again. And he turns around.
Hope for everybody.
I do. I'm so positive.
So much hope
and he just turns around. And at this point, I'm like, oh, he's going to kill the guy. He just starts screaming him. But poor Aaron, even through all of this fighting that he's been around, he still sucks at fighting.
He's not a fighter.
He's not. Poor baby. He's not a fighter. So he tries as best as he can. And the guy is about to kill him now after his few punches. And Priscilla, her strong self, she comes out of nowhere with the lead pipe and
Dink, Matt Kemp.
And in a way, it kind of was like, oh, I didn't really want it to turn out like that. I really wanted him to come in and save the day, but it's kind of like Priscilla saved him.
It's always.
That would have been way too cheesy.
Aaron always being saved. Like Larry, I can't see him actually being a hero ever.
He is a hero.
I mean,
because he's the one that initiated this little fight, which allowed her to become free.
That's not being a hero.
I mean, but it's better than him walking away again like a coward.
Doesn't need help.
I was thinking, what I was thinking was the guy still had his gun. So I was like, why are you charging somebody and they still have their gun? So I didn't think of that as being brave. I thought of it as being foolish. False bravo. Well,
I thought it was brave. Aaron, kudos to you, because you could have clearly just walked away like your character has done in the past. And so, of course, he talks to her and he's just like, come with us. You need to come back with us. We find out that that was a bounty hunter, and he was trying to get her because she killed a Monroe Republic officer. And she said she did that because this man was trying to take someone she loved, or hurt someone she loved, which we find out is her daughter. So she's married, she's got kids, and they're in Texas waiting for her.
Wow.
Man.
Now this is tough for Aaron, but you remember what Rachel tells him? She says to him, it's not going to be that easy. You can't just walk back into somebody's life after you've made this decision to leave them and think that it's just all going to go back to where it was. And we find that it can't be, because now she's got a whole family depending on her.
She's going back to Texas.
She's going to Texas, honey. She has no room for Aaron in her life.
All my exes live in Texas.
Do they?
I mean, it was just. It all worked.
It all worked. It all worked, right? It all works. And so it's bittersweet, because now that chapter of his life is closed. He no longer is going to spend the next 15 years worrying about what happened to her. He knows. And she kisses him and she's like, I still love you. So
don't tell me that.
Don't you just hate that?
She should have said that. She should have said that.
But I mean, it's the truth. And it's kind of like, well, you know that I can't be with you. I've got a family, but I still love you. So this is my goodbye.
But at the same time, just like,
I don't need that when I'm about to walk off, because then I'm thinking about it. Well, she still loves me. You know, what's going on? But
yes. So the episode ends with Tom Neville coming back. He's back with a vengeance, and now he's going to be partners, and that's part of the predictions. He's going to be partners with Miles.
I told you.
I don't know. I'm just gonna say I think he's gonna try to kill Miles. He really is. No, I don't think that's over. He's gonna kill Miles.
I don't think he's gonna kill Miles, because he can't really go back to Monroe. Because even if he
it doesn't matter. It's a principle thing.
No, I doubt it. Because they worked. Because he been so loyal to Miles before. But now it's just the fact that even if he killed Miles, he can't go back to Monroe, because Monroe actually just feel like he's a threat now.
But if he doesn't kill Miles, then when the Georgia Federation takes over, he's third in charge, because it'll be the lady, it'll be Miles, and then it'll be Neville.
It's like because of ranking.
Yeah, man. I can't take orders from too many people.
I remember him saying to him after he put him in he had Tom Neville's wife at gunpoint, knife point, whatever. He said, the next time I see him, I'm going to kill you. And I don't think that's subsided. He's going to still try to kill. I mean, of course, he's going to try to make sure that he gets the Georgia Federation agenda done. But he's going to try to kill Miles. I'm just saying that. Putting that out there. And, you know, we don't have a lot of time for news and gossip. But you want to tell us real quick what is going on with the show?
Well, we can say season 2 NBC has had ordered an early renewal for season 2. They're picking up a full season, all 22 episodes. So
nice.
Yeah, the ratings are going up, all that.
Yes. We love the show.
And according to the Hollywood Reporter, Rockne S. O'Bannon has joined Revolution for its upcoming second season. O'Bannon will serve as the executive producer, number 2 behind showrunner and series creator Eric Kripke.
Nice. We got some good changes going on with the show.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right, you guys, until next week, where can our lovely fans find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter @CulturedAthlete and on my website, www.brandon-london.com.
And you can find me @Larice Shamar on Twitter, and also check out TruePeoplesMedia.com.
And you can find me, Megan Thomas, on all of your social networks, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram @MegScoop, like scoop of ice cream. Until next week, see ya.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.